moving along. There's only a couple other things I was going to chat about. There's the casting with the DCEU, if you've been keeping up with it.
A little bit.
Michael Shannon in the Flash.
Okay.
Right? Michael Shannon hasn't been in a movie since Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. That was, 2013? So it's been like a good...
Michael Shannon, he's been working. He's just been doing more...
No, I mean, he hasn't been in the DCEU. He hasn't been in... his character got killed off, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's been working, but he hasn't done anything nearly as high profile as Superman since.
Right.
So he's returning, and he's going to be in the Flash, which is interesting, with Ben Affleck, Ezra Miller, Michael Keaton, and everyone else that's in this movie. I'm curious how it's going to go. I think now Warner Brothers is unfortunately in this situation where they're going to do comparisons
of his version versus...
Not even. I think they're going to financially and box office wise, they're going to start to compare the Flash to Spider-Man. Okay. So the same way that they compared Justice League to the Avengers and their expectations and what they wanted, even regardless of the horrible production that they had for Justice League, or, I can't even comment on the production for the Flash because I don't know much about this director, Machete. I don't know much about, the supporting cast that he's putting in the movie. It's hard for me to judge, but I feel like the Warner Brothers execs are looking at the box office of Spider-Man with his multiversal traveling, and they're looking at this movie and they're like, you better hit a Billy. Right? Like, you better hit a Billy.
I wouldn't even put that on them like that, but
they do that though. This is how Warner Brothers operates.
I am concerned because you were talking about the director, and I just pulled up his IMDb, and I just realized like he's only got 8 directing credits under his name.
Not bad. That's okay.
I mean, he only has it's 8, but like he's doing Attack on Titan and The Flash, and those are in pre-production or just announced and in post-production. What he really has under his belt that's full featured is the movie Mama, It, and It Chapter 2.
Now, he's got a good history working with Warner Brothers, so that's what Warner Brothers is doing, right?
Yeah, they like to keep it in
their favorite directors, and they're pulling them into the DC.
They bring them up. Yeah.
I'm
just gonna say that like I enjoyed Mama until the end, like the way. But to be fair, he's done primarily horror movies as his full features, so I have no idea what he can do with an action flick and something that's going to be as immersive as the multiverse with the Flash. Like, I don't know what he can do with that. But all I know is that based off of Mama, It, and It Chapter 2, I've liked what he does, but he does fall apart. Like, towards the third act, he loses the grip sometimes. The movie falls apart a little bit. So I'm worried that with something as layered and deep as the multiverse, can he bring it home? Like, I think he's gonna introduce the movie fine. It'll have good action or whatever. But the real question is, when that third act comes, are you gonna be able to hold it together? Because I've seen that pattern in his other movies, and that does worry me.
So here's the good thing, right? The Flash is not written by the same folks who did those horror movies with him.
Yeah, that's true.
Warner Brothers has a good track record, I guess, with doing horror movies over the years. Their directors in that department or that side of business have been doing great things, and now they're bringing over that talent to try to save the DCEU, right? Aquaman crossed $1 billion with one of their best horror directors. They're hoping that lightning will strike twice here. This movie, however, is written by, John Francis Daley. John Francis Daley co-wrote Spider-Man: Homecoming. He co-wrote Horrible Bosses. He co-wrote Vacation Friends. Vacation Friends was funny. I like Vacation Friends for its humor.
So there'll be some comedy in there.
We've got some comedy, and we've got somebody with superhero writing beneath his belt with Spider-Man: Homecoming. At least one of the writers, right? And that's just one of them. We've got a couple others with Jonathan Goldstein, who's done a couple other things alongside John Francis Daley. So we've got a team of people that work well together, that want to make a name for themselves and understand writing superheroes. The Flash, it seems like it's going to be their opportunity to reboot things and give Warner Brothers an out with introducing new iterations of Batman, Supergirl, Superwoman, General Zod, all these people. I kind of wonder if they're looking at like the people who helped reintroduce Spider-Man can help reintroduce the DCEU and help make this stuff cohesive. Right now, we've got cohesiveness a little bit with all the iterations of the Marvel Universe, thanks to Doctor Strange and the Loki TV show. I think they're looking for that from the Flash.
I don't know, man. I mean, it's one thing to have a writer involved, but like you need way more. You need that directorial vision. You need a producer that's willing to guide everyone. On top of that, I don't know if they have the right pieces. I'm not overly excited because one way or another, Warner Brothers has been more missed than hits. I'm not saying they can't do it. I'm not saying it's impossible. You brought up some good examples, with Aquaman, Shazam. I would also say Joker, where they can hit something out the park, and they can do that. But I don't know about this movie. This movie was already in production hell before. Remember, they had like was it Fuqua or somebody else that was the director.
They had the didn't they have the Lego Batman directors associated with this at one point?
I don't remember.
I think they did, but regardless, they had to choose what direction they were going with this movie. One thing that we know is that they were kind of saying, "Hey, we're going to do some sort of flashpoint,"
right?
But they didn't know what they were going to do with the ending, right? Are we going to reboot? Are we going to keep things the same? They decided to wait and see how other projects went first, which is fine. I think that they have a chance to introduce a type of multiverse, but I don't think expectations should be anywhere near on par with what Marvel has grown into just yet.
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to like catapult them to the same level of fandom just because they put this one movie out. But I do think it does give them an opportunity to add some cohesion to their stories and then allow them more opportunity to build on. They've got so many different iterations of characters out there on TV right now, and they're not slowing down. It blew my mind when I heard J.K. Simmons was coming back for the Batgirl movie. That doesn't make sense, right?
It doesn't.
It blew my mind even more when they said that Michael Keaton is going to be in it.
What? Oh, that was great.
That's great, but it's crazy. That was great. Right? What happened to Ben Affleck? How can you have J.K. Simmons without Ben Affleck? We're going to find out. So they have an opportunity. They seem like they now have a plan. We've been hearing the rumors about Michael Keaton taking over as the new iteration of Batman for whatever multiverse hopping or reboot that they do. It's got a chance. It definitely has a chance to at least reignite interest and add some cohesion. I want to see them justify how this Barry met with the TV version of Barry, because that already happened like 2 years ago, right? But
didn't they show something in the clips or trailer or something like that where he's meeting other versions of himself?
He is. So in the TV show, he just showed up out of nowhere one day, Ezra Miller's Flash, and then he just left, and they just left it as an Easter egg cliffhanger. They never explained how he was hopping from multiverse to universe to universe. I'm hoping they explain it in this movie.
Oh, I can see that. Like, yeah, they'll explain it in the movie.
It's been 2 years I've been waiting. I'm waiting for it. But yeah, the Flash movie, it's got an interesting cast. They seem like they have an interesting direction that they can possibly go in. They're definitely going to change the interpretation of the DCEU moving forward. I'm excited to see where they go with it. I'm also curious about why Zack Snyder is leaving all these Easter eggs on social media about Justice League. That's been teasing me a little bit too.
I haven't seen that.
No? He's been like posting photos on like holidays of like a turkey, but then in the background of the turkey is like Justice League Final Crisis graphic novels and stuff. Like he's been sitting here doing the most on social media.
He's been doing stuff like that though. Like
no,
what I'm saying is like he
He did that when he didn't want to outright say, "Hey, I have my own version of the
Right. I mean, that's the thing. He would
teased.
egg people on. He always. It was just like with the Green Lantern thing when they were like, "Yeah, I was gonna have Green Lantern," and WB was like, "Hey, like, chill out with that. Like, no." And then he was like, "Oh, okay." And then he dropped the picture of the dude that was gonna be Green Lantern. Like,
he doesn't do this stuff needless.
He gaslets these people.
He is great at taking a movement and orchestrating it around without being overtly orchestrating it. Because contractually, he probably can't say certain things.
Right.
But when people are like, "Hey, is there a Snyder cut?" I don't know. Is there? He's coy.
Right.
So with him doing these things, it's very
I'm not gonna say there isn't one.
Yeah. It's very reminiscent of the same campaigning he did for the Snyder cut.
Yeah.
So now he's posting pictures with his graphic novels in the background. He did one for Thanksgiving. He did it again for Christmas. I can't wait to see what he does tonight for New Year.
He's trolling, man.
He is trolling, but he's good at it. You would think he would be promoting, I don't know, Army of the Dead, or
forget that.
His new movie.
Netflix got that covered. Netflix is like one of the best promoters out there. They'll be fine.
Yeah, Netflix is great for him. I think it's a wonderful partnership for him. It allows him to do things that he should be doing directly to stream anyway.
I told you the number one strength for Zack Snyder is to do original projects.
I want him to do a Sucker Punch 2 on Netflix.
That fine, whatever. Like when Zack Snyder is able to do things that don't carry very big expectations, he's able to do so much better. He's able to excel in those spots, in those lanes. Even if the film is not that good, like Sucker Punch, you still can be like, well, at least it was original. At least it was something different, But like when you go into Watchmen, I mean, even Watchmen, even as great as some people want to make it out to be, some people still had issue with the way he ended it because he altered the ending. And the same thing with, the whole Justice League and all the other characters. It's kind of like his version, his take on things. Some people will look at it as you're butchering, the source material. Like, keep in mind, there was if I'm not mistaken, he wanted to kill Batman. He wanted to kill Batman.
Kill him.
You know how to and you see what did WB say? Stop playing.
Yeah,
you're not gonna play with our money.
Yeah.
Stop it.
So
that's crazy.
Imagine if
who would ever kill the lead
but
character
here's the thing.
of their own
think
movie.
about it. In hindsight, I'm like, Zack Snyder's characters are an acquired taste. It's kind of like beer. When I was that kid, and I first tasted beer, I don't like this. Bro, why would you give me this? And then after a few movies, and I know it's not for everyone, I enjoy it. I really enjoy it. I like his last Justice League movie, the 4-hour one. I would be happy for him to have his own little sandbox to play with these characters if they allowed him to continue his story. He's fine to me. I get it why people didn't like his interpretations at that time. But if you look at people today versus people then, their willingness to accept his type of storytelling is very different. I don't care if you kill Batman now because I've got 3 others, right? Michael Keaton is still here. Right? You can kill Ben Affleck, and I've got the Batman movie that just dropped the trailer that's looking hype now. Look, do what you want. Okay. That's the type of freedom I think he always deserved. I think if they decided to let him continue, now would be a great time, especially now that they have a multiverse, and people won't be so up in arms with his interpretations of these characters. I love when writers change characters. I love when Tom Taylor changed Superman for Injustice. That was amazing. Nobody sat there and said, Superman would never kill. Dude killed the Joker and we loved it, right? Yeah. Under no circumstances would he do that, right? That's a huge change in his character.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Facts.
So, yeah, I'm okay with it now. It's an acquired taste. I like it now, and I'm okay if he continues.
Okay.
Anyway, that's all I had about